We've done a lot of videos showing you guys how to fix your bike, but today we're going to deep dive into why you do those things. This video is all about the most important things a home mechanic needs to know, but might not know.
Yeah, we're joined by Calvin and Truman from Part Tool, who together have got almost a century of experience working on bikes. So we're going to learn all the whys about why we should maintain our bikes better. Let's begin by saying we're joined by the amazing people from Part Tools. Please introduce yourselves very briefly, because we're going to run through all the things that home mechanics should know but don't.
My name's Truman. I work here at Park Tool, and Calvin and I hang out and talk about bikes a lot. And yeah.
Yep, I'm Calvin Jones, hanging out with Truman at Park Tool.
I guess a brief bit of history is that you've both got, at least 2 decades of experience working on bikes and working around bikes. So your kind of depth of knowledge is second to none. And without flattering one person in particular, I feel like you might have got like half a century of experience. So yeah, you know stuff more than anybody else will know us.
Way to make a guy feel old, huh?
Well, it wasn't my intention, but yeah.
You hang around long enough, you get to know stuff, but is it useful stuff? And then how do you use it? Or do you just keep making the same mistake again and again and again?
You go through your mind and sort through there, and you're like, this is useful knowledge. I'm going to keep that and chuck out this bad piece of knowledge that I don't find useful.
That's how it works, right?
Well, that's what happens when you sleep.
You grab it when you sleep and you take it to the little trash can down in the corner there. And So we approach this. There's different ways to look at this. And to us, it's not, we're going to this exact derailleur adjustment. That's not the important. We want, I guess, higher level stuff. That when you say you should know concepts and what to me, let's talk about the first thing I want people to know out there. Know thyself. What's important to you and working on this bike, and that's no joke. Are you doing this? I gotta get on that ride. My buddies are going. I just want this to be done.
You're not being a mechanical at that point when you just want this thing to be done. At that point, you're a rider, which is perfectly acceptable.
Right.
But you're not being a mechanic. The mechanic is going to sit back, take a little bit of time, assess the situation, and then start to do the repair.
Enjoy the repair. So this applies to people that work on other people's bikes. It could be professionally, or it even could be your friend's bike. How about the family, right? The mom who's got the husband, kids, blah, 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 6 different fleets. She's responsible for working on other people. So enjoy the repair. Think about the repair. That's the kind of person who loves other mechanical things, likes to appreciates pulleys and wheels in everyday life. The handy person.
Yeah, you mentioned doing other people's bikes. I must say I much enjoy doing other people's bikes rather than my own. Maybe it's a mindset thing. Maybe we need to stop thinking about it as necessity and think about it as something we enjoy as much as we enjoy riding it.
It's a great day
to fix a bike.
That's what it is. Every day now. That's a really good point. When you're working on other people's bikes, it's a privilege. You also get to learn. You also get to learn from other people's mistakes. So as a young mechanic, you're building your portfolio.
Exactly.
You're building the knowledge. You're playing the piano again and again. The practice of understanding the limit screw, understanding the truing.
And every new repair you do, you start to keep on building and building and building, and you're not only seeing another problem that you've never seen, you've seen something now functioning in a way that you've never seen. So you now are starting to understand all those things. So experience, it goes a long ways, so that once you come into and you see a problem that you've never seen, you understand it's supposed to be working like this, it's working like this, what would make that happen? So you're kind of sorting through that as a mechanic.
That basic level knowledge is going to help you when you get that one that's not working. All your mates are yelling at you, come on, Jim, we got to go. And you're trying to fix it. If you can take the time to think how it works, then you can pave your own adventure. You can track your own adventure in repair.
So, yes, know thyself.
Right,
That's
yeah,
number
big-
one.
Yeah.
Back to
And thy gadget you're trying to fix.
That's right. And there's a lot to talk about. One thing that's important when you work on your bikes, and understand when you start taking this on, you have some rights. We have some rights. You have also the right to fail, and that sometimes that happens. Sometimes stuff it's not always going to go well. When you jump into it, oh whoops, I turned that too much, it broke, or maybe something wore out.
So you have the right to fail, but what's important about that?
Learning from our failures.
You learn from your
Why did it fail?
Is there another important, like preparing for failure?
Preparing for failure. How would you do that?
I would make sure to have a good friend that knows more than myself, or a bike shop that I can, as a backdrop. So if I get into a repair and I get to a point and I cause a problem that I don't understand, I can't get past this, I need to have my friend on the phone, or call them over, have them come over and help me, or bring it down to the bike shop.
Yeah.
You got to have that backdrop.
Right. Except he meant to say, don't call us.
Oh.
Email us.
Or us. You can
Who's
email us too.
everybody's friend? Everybody in the friend. Oh, the internet.
Yeah, the internet's
That's
always
another
right.
place. That's another thing that the mechanics should know. Home mechanics. The internet is full of answers. Many of them horribly wrong. But they're definitely, the internet is a good resource if used correctly, and manufacturers' websites are good examples of that. Schematics, compatibility information is there.
Understand whether you're getting good information or bad information, and
that's
kind
right.
of sort through that.
I guess the problem is, even if the answers are correct, you still have to propose the right question, right? So if you don't understand what's gone wrong, you're still not going to get the right answer. And it goes back to what you said, Calvin, about, well, if you understood what you're trying to fix, you would understand how to troubleshoot.
Exactly. I think properties of materials.
Oh, that's another fun one.
So as a beginning mechanic, starting to understanding, and I mean, properties of materials, it can be very, very basic stuff.
Right.
Like how hard is this material? How hard is this material? This material's brittle. This material's not brittle. Or it could be, this is stainless steel and this is titanium. These react with one another and cause a reaction.
Right. There's a whole science there. That's not what we're talking about. It's just good practical knowledge of what you're dealing with. You're tightening a bolt. Is it steel or is it a plastic thread? It's going to relate directly to how much you need to tighten it. So bikes are composed of what? We have steel, we have aluminum. Over there they have aluminium.
Yeah, we do. Different spelling.
I've heard about that fancy stuff before.
Titanium, and then plastics of all sorts. And when something breaks and fails, again, we talk about the source of it. Some people have this attitude, it just broke. Oh, yeah, I see it broke, but it just broke. Well, what stress caused that? What wear issues? It's good, we're talking failure here. It's good to know why a plastic pulley wheel cracks. How did that happen? Things do happen, right? The old SH happens. Truman, I was just riding along and something happened.
Yep, JRA.
That's why did it happen? It's going to make you smarter for the next time, and again to help your friends and your other repairs. But
you're going to be happier. Your friends are going to be happier. Or if you fix other non-friends' bikes, they'll be happier as well.
And the carbon fibers are good. What we have on bikes that we learn to jump into that with any background knowledge is difficult. I'm a big fan of early childhood art and getting kids to play with stuff and breaking it and smashing it. Bending steel, how does that bend?
How many times can you bend it?
And then aluminum, bending aluminum, how does that feel? When do we bend aluminum on a bike, Truman?
And maybe something to do with your derailleur hanger.
Our favorite
Maybe it is the hanger.
DAG3, that's right, you're going to be bending. But then carbon fiber, does it bend? Well, it bends in that it flexes, yes. the point where carbon fiber bends and stays bent is equal to the point it broke.
Yes,
So
definitely.
yeah, things flex and some stay bent. So to know that, it's good to play with stuff that doesn't matter.
You see this a lot with background and having an experience. You see this a lot with wheels. So somebody comes in with a bent wheel, tacoed wheel, any kind of wheel condition, and you get a little bit of a history, as a mechanical ask. Well, how many have you broken spokes before? Has this come out of true before? These are all important questions to say, is it even worth trying to straighten? Is it worth trying to save this rim? Or should we relace it, or should we replace this wheel?
Things don't last forever.
No.
Well, that's not quite true. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. I'm a big believer in that. Yes, you can have your bike. You go to some beautiful parts of the world, and there's this nice, Phrygius or something leaning up against the wall, and the flowers are there. And no one's ridden that for 15 years. Okay, it's still a bike, but it's seen its better days. So, and also in terms of fatigue, if they've ridden that thing to death. So things do last forever, but maybe not in such a way as you could use it as you used to use it. Wheels are an example. At some point, they are going to be consumable. Our chains wear out, right? That is a steel, hard roller.
This is
pushing against, and people, I've seen some comments, chain should last forever. If you don't ride it, I agree.
What's interesting is so we're up here in a studio. We've got offices downstairs, but we have a manufacturing plant back here. And what you have a lot of when you're manufacturing stuff and moving goods around a factory, you have forklifts. And forklifts are mechanical things.
Just big bicycles.
It's basically a big bicycle. So they have chains. So the forklift guy comes over and he's checking the stretch on the chain. They have their own wear indicator for forklift chains.
Yeah.
And so it matters beyond what chains wear out outside of our industry. Agriculture, your planters,
right.
Those people are replacing their chains every year. Forklifts, they're replacing their chains after probably more like 10 years. But it's all over. It's not just us. It's just the properties of the material wearing out over time.
Cleaning the bike can be important. Now, what professionals do, right, isn't always what the home mechanic should do. Tour de France, they would not do that without their power washers.
Same as at World Cup downhill. And I've done it. I've been there with the jet washer that's so powerful you can strip paint off metal, and you get it point blank range and just down the tube.
15, 20 bikes in front of you, it speeds things up, and they're just human too. But if we truly love our bikes, wouldn't we take a cotton and wipe each tube and gently?
Yeah.
Right. Who's got time for that?
I have two friends. Both of them keep their bikes immaculate. One of them he washes with water, and the other one doesn't. So the one who washes with water, his bikes are always squeaky clean, but they do tend to squeak once in a while.
Squeaky clean. I like it.
I've had it one time where his rims were half full of water. So he'd obviously been going after the rims, and through the little weep hole, all the water, and so he's like, the bike is riding weird. And I pick it up, and like, the wheels are flopping around. I'd pull the valve nut off and start draining water.
Yeah.
And there had to have been a cup of water in each
what's
rim.
the old saying? The pints a pound, the world around.
Yeah.
You're really naming and shaming your friends today, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Throw them under the bus.
Learning,
what are friends for?
It's learn from your own mistakes, and it's also good to learn from other people's mistakes if you talk through the symptoms and know the true source. So that's a good one. The little weep holes, they're to let water out but it also water goes in. So so too much washing, blasting the drivetrain, the bottom bracket, the chain. I could eat off that chain. Well, you're kind of a funny habit you have there, but is it really doing any good?
That goes along with maybe what we should talk about next. The inspecting. So cleaning goes hand. The cleaning doesn't just allow you to keep your bike clean. it allows you to inspect your bike. It allows you to look for cracks in the frame. It allows you to find kinks in cables or hoses or housing. It allows you to find a loose piece of hardware. So you're looking through there. A clean bike is a happy bike is something that Calvin has said and been known to say in the past. The happy bike part comes in with you're paying attention to me.
Right,
And
that's right.
And now I'm in a better repair because you noticed this problem before it became a bigger problem.
That's off the bike. That's exactly right. That you're giving it some love, and it's going to return that by showing your problems. But it's also good to be observant riding the bike. Okay, so people I ride with, you're behind them. They come to a stop. There's a horrible clunk, or they hit a little bump, and there's a rattle of the rear cassette. So paying attention when things start to change. Now, some things are kind of hard to tell. You get a brand new bike, it's all good, you ride, and things develop slowly. So, thousands of miles later, thousands of kilometers later, we have this issue. Didn't used to be an issue. Well, wear happens. That's what's nice sometimes to have a friend check it. They don't have that template, that wear built in like you do. Shifting's a good example. Shifting, good, but over time it's a little bit slower. My thumb simply develops the muscle memory to do the shifting, and then you jump on it. This is terrible. Your cable's horrible. Thank you for. I didn't know it. Now it's so much better. So observant on the bike.
Yeah.
And then be observant off the bike when it's.
And do you have the friend? I don't know if I have the friend. I don't have this friend. Maybe I do. I don't know. But who wears headphones when they're riding? So when they, maybe they bring you their bike or they bring their bike to somebody and they're like, hey, I just need a little tune-up. And you're like, this thing is making the most noise. What are you talking about? Oh, I ride with headphones on. I don't even know what noises it's making.
Yeah. No problem here, Truman.
Although I think some of my friends need to not listen to their bike because they think there's a problem when there isn't a lot of the time.
Now we've got the other side of the coin.
Yes. I don't know what number we're on here, but let's throw another number on there. Senses.
Absolutely.
Because we've been talking about it through all of this conversation. Your senses that you have are crucial to your mechanical skill and your learning more and more. Even smell. Smell, sight, ears. Let's maybe not taste our bikes.
I've seen some mechanics do that.
Well, the smell and that's people may laugh at that. Here's an interesting one: kinetic sense of feel, which does lead. You mentioned tightening. That is such an important part of how we work on bikes. How tight it should be. And of course, we're proponents of torque wrenches, but they're also a good learning tool. You need to use them when appropriate. Always try and follow up with a hand feel to build that muscle memory. There's going to be times a torque wrench simply doesn't fit. Plus, it gives you a common sense. Right? If you put a bolt says 8 Newton meters. Right? It's modest, it's not horrible. And you get a big wrench on, you keep turning and turning. Oh, this is a torque wrench. Well, if it already had clicked or something's up with the torque wrench, and you keep going like this, am I exceeding 8 Newton meters? Probably. So if you have that common sense of what it feels like to do that, you can trust yourself, right? That there's something weird, something's going on. You're about to blow the head of the bolt right off.
Are you saying that we don't use the torque lever and then give it another yank for luck? I thought that's how we do it, no?
Alas, no. Many mechanic I have seen do the extra click for safety.
The safety click.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to have on a bike.
But a lot of fun to have in the workshop as well. And I think
lots
that's
of fun.
probably one of my key takeaways is I should treat my mechanics like I treat spannering someone else's bike and actually try and enjoy it and be more of a problem solver. I think that's my big takeaway. What about you?
I think just need to work on my bikes more because it is a pleasurable, enjoyable experience fixing something. It's like that instant reward if you've made something that didn't work. You've done a bit of problem solving along the way, and then at the end of it you get to ride your bike. It's just like a perfect win-win.
No matter if you're the rider or if you're a mechanic for somebody else, it's very rewarding because if you're riding it, you get to feel that reward right away, or not the reward. You get to say, I didn't fix it. Or it's your buddy's bike and you give it to them and they are like, man, how did you do that? I've been trying to fix this for so long. That's a rewarding thing to hear. Like, man, you fixed my bike after how long, and you did it. I'm very pleased.
That's what we want to hear.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
fixing bikes is rewarding.
Yeah,
Full stop.
and that is our aim here at GMBN Tech, and I think our channel and your channel as well on Park Tools definitely inspires people to give it a go. So thank you so much for you guys, and thank you so much for joining us on the show today. I hope our viewers have learned something. And maybe we could ask, guys, if you have any questions for us or for Truman and Calvin here, let us know down in the comments below and we'll try and get back to you. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.